Sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy Dark Arku here with What If Issei became an Arrancar? Part 1 of this What If. Now, this pretty much is a what if that I kind of thought of, but also kind of got help. But not the point. Pretty much, yeah, if you like the kind of picture, I am gonna make a thumbnail later. I just created it literally not even fucking an hour ago. Yeah, I created it when I was kind of in the, you know what, not gonna explain that one. But yeah, I was in the bathroom for a while, but yeah. Stomach hurt like hell. But not the point. Also, yeah, I just thought of doing this what if. Fuck off, leave me alone, and yeah. Pretty much as a bitch looks really fucking dope though. But yeah, this is kind of a like hollow version of himself. Which, how is he going to be a hollow, you say? Well, let's go into a short story. Pretty much, Issei, after the battle with Sir Orcus, has actually fully confessed to Reyes Gremory, and only Reyes Gremory. Of course, they were only dating for literally not even like 3 months. They were only dating for like 2 months and a half. But of course, Reyes isn't loyal and of course cheated on him with another dude when Issei found him out at his like bedroom. But of course Issei didn't confront them because, well, Issei, he only saw this from the crack of his corner like door being open a little bit. Issei ran away. Issei also, the fact that mostly he was betrayed by the only one that he loved and actually finally admit his feelings to her, and of course was also screamed by her just because he didn't say her fucking name, cheated on him, and of course, well, Issei just felt a bunch of emotion, betrayal, and other things. The darkness within his heart mostly shattered his heart, but of course, with that happening, mostly Issei started kind of awakening into a hollow. Mostly his soul and other things were kind of shattered and turned into darkness, while mostly himself was turned into a hollow. Of course, mostly thanks to the evil pieces and the draconic feeling of almost dying, that's why he was slowly becoming a hollow. Mostly thanks to the fact that he was literally dying. But this is where, well, when he was about to fully die, he actually transformed into a hollow which being with a mask, a white mask, and of course a body that was kind of that of like a draconic body with the white mask. But yeah, but this is where, well, he didn't want to give up just yet because he remember he had someone that he cares about more than love, and that was his older brother. But this is where, well, mostly just because his older brother has been hospitalized for ever since he was in middle school. But this is where, well, he grabbed the mask in his face and ripped it off his face. But when he ripped off the hollow mask, he didn't just go back being a normal human. He became much more powerful. He evolved. He evolved into an Arrancar, a being that is only known through mostly history of hollows ripping out their mask. Now, yeah, just the only other natural way to do it, unless you're gonna go talk to those guys and then ask for him to just transform your ass into a fucking Arrancar. But Issei managed to transform himself into a Arrancar and of course managed to survive. But this is where mostly Issei's story has begun. He is now the Arrancar, the Arrancar dragon, or mostly the dragon Arrancar, or man, I don't have an idea how to call this. But pretty much, he has his own Zanpakuto that he actually managed to kind of summon with the fact that he's now an Arrancar. He is no longer a devil but an Arrancar, and of course with the fact that he is a hollow, those evil pieces that are inside his, inside Issei's body has actually changed. Instead of being corrupted pieces, or just injecting them or purging them or whatever, I'm going to instead just make them become the similar same aura as Issei. Those evil pieces within Issei's body are still the evil pieces, they just turn into hollow pieces. Yeah, pretty much Issei did absorb the demonic energy, but instead of being a full devil or just whatever, he is an Arrancar. So of course it's mostly like a glitch in the system. He's not gonna need to take command from Reyes or any of that. He doesn't even need to be considered a stray no more because he's an Arrancar. But yeah. Now the only specific way for you to become an Arrancar or hollow or whatever, which mostly you have to die and other than that, but Issei is a little bit different. You see here, his brother is someone that should not be messed by or messed with in the supernatural world or the hollow world. That being the, mostly Wakamundo. I will explain who mostly his brother is, but all you gotta know, he has blue hair. Yeah. He's also quite violent and arrogant and other shit, but not the point. I mean, let's just kind of begin the story. But this is where, well, mostly Issei's new appearance and also his kind of awakening and personality and other things have also changed. Also, mostly his personality is going to be kind of a 180 from his normal, cheerful kind of personality, kind of childish, to a more mature kind of personality. At the same time, he is quite violent a bit, similar to that of his older brother, but not the point. This is where, well, with Issei kind of walking away, he already knew about his Zanpakuto's name. When he awakened to Arrancar, he found out what his Zanpakuto name was. So his Zanpakuto name is Carl. So his Zanpakuto kind of looks like this. Pretty much it's called Reyes de la Eclipse. But yeah, pretty much it's called the Eclipse of the King. Or Eclipse of the King. But yeah, that's what it pretty much just means in English. But yeah. But this is where mostly Issei starts walking away after kind of decimating a huge part of the forest. Yeah, mostly Issei was in the forest after mostly running away. But yeah. But this is where, well, mostly with his new personality and aura, he is literally different. He is much more just completely different. How would others react? Who knows? But let's just begin into this what if. But we go into mostly Issei kind of going back to school after like a couple of days, like 2 days later. That's where, well, when Issei enters the school, his aura, personality, his just fucking appearance is all different. He does have a Arrancar mask, like a half part of it near his like mostly kind of like cheek. That kind of looks like a draconic mask, but like it's broken, and it's literally attached to him out of fucking thin air. So yeah, you can barely understand and how the fuck is it there, other than the fact it's floating like a motherfucker. Yeah, I don't know how Arrancars usually are able to do that. Is it a part of their face like attached to it, or is it like just floating there? Because Grimjaw's usually looks like just floating, and it also does move when it does when he laughs. So I'm just thinking that, yeah, I don't know. But this is where, well, mostly Issei is just kind of walking around school or just walking inside school. And when everyone is turning around to look at a familiar brown-haired boy who is usually perverted and other than that, they're just like being childish most of the time, his aura and personality is different. No, he doesn't exclude this like aura of being warm, kind, and other than that. He's more ruthless. Yeah, he just doesn't care. He's also quite mature. This is where, well, people were going on with so many rumors throughout the school with the whole day of the morning. Thus, mostly when Issei was walking to, what's it called, his class, he saw his two best friends, Matsuda and Murahama. Now, Matsuda is a boy with mostly, like, zero hair on his head. Basically, he always been shaved. This is where, well, he's also called the perverted paparazzi or whatever, because of the fact that he literally be taking pictures of, like, females. But yeah. But this is where, well, the other guy is a guy with mostly glasses and kind of blackish, kind of longish hair. But of course, well, he is called the scouter, or yeah, the perverted scouter or whatever. This is where, well, mostly his name is Murahama. But both of them are kind of saying Issei until they notice his aura, demeanor, and everything else. Yep, he's different. And this is where, well, they shut up with their kind of cheerful personality and became kind of worried. Because, well, even though they're perverts, they do worry about each other. Because mostly Issei has been the one to worry mostly about what's it called, Matsuda and Murahama more often. And them kind of not worrying about him every time he gets sick or whatever, because they know that Issei isn't going to die because of Opie. This is where, well, Issei's aura and demeanor is one way. One way of understanding what the fuck happened to him. Instead of just ignoring mostly Issei's, demeanor, they actually question him. Which Issei just kind of just waves him off, saying that it's nothing. And of course, he stays quite a distance of being respectfully. This is where, well, mostly they notice how kind of distant away he was from him, away from them. Of course, his personality and everything just waves him off, while kind of walking away. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of a blackish haired female with kind of violet, kind of purplish eyes. She is right now in the middle of paperwork because, well, she is considered to be the student council, but also a high-ranking devil of this mostly territory. This is where, well, she was getting reports of there being new sightings of strays, but also a different type of species known as, well, she doesn't know what exactly the species is because it's kind of unknown, and the only other species to get rid of those species is something called a Shinigami. And she's just thinking it's part of Hades' kind of realm, and mostly Hades has said to not bother with the Shinigamis or this different species that is kind of similar to that of a stray, but different entirely because instead of devouring everything a part of that body, but devour only the soul. This is where, well, mostly freaking the student council is just annoyed with Hades and his rules, but who's going to go after him? Who's going to go kind of annoy him? Zeus is not going to go do that because, well, pretty much Zeus has other things to do. Yeah. But this is where, well, mostly she then hears mostly that Issei has been caught and is being sent to the office, and this is where, well, when the door of the office opens, this is where, well, mostly she looks up, thinking that she's going to have to scold Issei again about being a pervert, and other than that, but this is where she shuts up at the first sight of Issei. Issei looks different. He is much taller than normal than the last time she remembers. There's no way that he grew a couple inches. His spiky brownish hair, instead of having it into that kind of brownish hair style, is much more just spiky entirely. He has literally mostly his brownish eyes are kind of just looking at her with a look of calculation somewhat. Yes, Issei is kind of calculating her. This is where, well, mostly he also has a very mature personality. When I mean mature personality, when she actually starts kind of questioning about why he's here, it's not from peeping on girls or whatever. He just straight up kind of got into a fight with someone. Yeah, pretty much mostly in the second hour, some dude decided to try to pick a fight with Issei, and thinking that he wasn't what really meant for what's it called Reyes memory, which really pissed off Issei. Not because mostly Issei still loves Reyes, no, it's because mostly Reyes cheated on him, and yeah, he doesn't want to hear that damn whore's name in someone's mouth and saying that's still a thing, which they're not a thing. Yeah, that's not happening. So of course what Issei did is kind of punch this motherfucker in the face, knocking his shit out. Teacher kind of did tell Issei to go to the principal office, or mostly the student council office, while some other people went to kind of bring this dude to like some nurse's office because he got clocked the fuck out. He got knocked the fuck out. It was like someone said in the background, "Damn, he got knocked the fuck out." But yeah, this is where, well, mostly with that happening, Issei just kind of straight up ignores everyone else. When he gets to the student council, he's just looking at her, calculating with his own eyes. Sona, she kind of did question that, but then she found out what it is, and this is where she was shocked the first time hearing that Issei kind of just decided to pick a fight with someone, because Issei never picks a fight with anyone. He would just kind of trying to run away from them or whatever, but Issei literally picks a fight in this one. She didn't understand why, but this is where, well, mostly she then kind of gave him this look of sternly, but at the same time concerned and curious. But this is where, well, mostly Issei kind of just looks at her and decides to apologize. He apologized quite respectfully, but also quite interesting. He was more mature than ever. This is where, well, he said, "I apologize for disturbing the peace. It will never happen again." This is where, well, mostly Issei just kind of said, while mostly Sona nodded. And of course, she was a little bit amused with his kind of respected, at the same time, mature personality. Now, this is not something that Issei usually does. Well, his original self. And there's no way he changed in only like 2 days. Unless he is that fast of a learner to change, then yeah, he would have changed a long time ago. But this is where Sona says, okay, you can go, Issei-san. This is where Issei nodded and walked away. This is where, well, he opened the door and walked away. This is where, well, Sona was a little bit curious about Issei. She's actually quite in-depth and curious about why he's acting like this entirely. She's actually going to figure it out later, because this is why I say later, is because mostly she has other things to do, like more paperwork. Yeah, she can't get rid of this much paperwork. This is where, well, she signed also, because luckily, mostly it wasn't something that she needed to scold Issei about. Well, I mean, other than the fact that, I mean, yeah, fighting is bad, but mostly, luckily, it wasn't peeping or some charge from some female. But this is where, well, mostly with that happening, we go into mostly Issei getting to class. But instead of getting to class, this is where someone confronts him in the hallway. This is where, well, it was a girl with brownish hair and kind of like goldenish brown honey eyes. This is where, well, mostly Issei tries to walk past her, but this is where, well, the person stands firmly right in front of Issei. Issei was yawning and saying, "Can you move out of my way, Mariyama?" This is where, well, mostly Issei quite respectfully, but of course he didn't call her Mariyama-chan or Mariyama-san or whatever. This is where, well, Mariyama says, "Tell me, who exactly are you?" This is where Mariyama said. That's what, well, Issei said, "Oh my fucking god. The name's Issei." Just to work, well, she cuts him off and say, "Bullshit. Issei isn't like this. He isn't violent. He isn't, well, anything like this. Who exactly are you? You're not Issei." She confronts him. Issei right now chuckles and says, "Oh, well, I'm not Issei. You're right. I'm a damn Wendigo." This is where, well, mostly Issei lied about what species he is. And this is where Mariam was like, "Wendigo? What is that?" This is where Issei whispers into her ear saying, "I'ma fucking eat you." That's what a Wendigo is. A monster that eats humans. This is where, well, she gets scared. Issei then chuckles and laughs and says, "I'm just kidding. I'm not. But for real, you shouldn't just go up to random people and just say that you know what they are, even though you don't know what they are. I suggest in the near future not to be doing that, or you might die." Doesn't work well. She was shocked with mostly Issei's kind of little confession about what's it called, her stupidity, but this is where, well, she didn't like kind of fought back. She then stands still right in front of him and saying, "I won't. No, I tell me." This is where, well, Issei said, "Even if I tell you, you would still kind of not understand me. So there's no point in telling you." This is where, well, mostly Issei just decides to walk past her. This is where, well, mostly she grabs onto his arm and says, "Issei, you are not going to." Issei says, "Let go of my hand." Issei looks more sternly and angrily than ever. This is where, well, mostly his personality from the other side is showing. This is where, well, she lets go out of his hand, well, let's go for his, like, arm, out of instinct, and of course, this is where Issei says, "Thank you," walks away respectfully. This is where, well, she kind of cries a bit. She always did have a crush on Issei, ever since middle school, but ever since he started becoming perverted, it wasn't really there too much. But this is where, well, mostly with Issei new look and other things, mostly a theory surfaced after a while. This is where, well, she tried to act confident for him just so mostly he would actually date her, probably confess something. But no, that didn't really happen. Instead, mostly all she received was mostly Issei just being playful a bit, mature playful, but at the same time he was also quite, well, mostly serious, really serious. That look in his eyes showed that he really wasn't interested too much in dating. Because they were, well, mostly Issei just completely walks away. But for right now, I'm going to leave it off here because I'm kind of getting really tired. And I'm just closing my eyes before I fall asleep. Other than that, bye, good night, and yeah.